people, wherever you are. Some are in the afternoon, some might be in the evening. We are here for training by the Heart to Heart Foundation for Esperance for women and children, in prison, Africa. I am one of the trainees, a consultant to Esperance, and I'm looking forward to learning what nonviolent communication is all about. I am hopeful that after we learn the concepts of NVC and its practice, we'll be able to translate it into trainings and activities for the foundation.
Samuel Odhiambo, and I'm a certified nonviolent communications trainer, and it's been since 2016 when I was certified. It's been a beautiful journey of learning and unlearning and sharing this consciousness with different people. And my hope is that we are going to learn together. None of us is perfect, and none of us is all-knowing. It's a process of growing and learning together. And I also learn by sharing. So I look forward to these 2 days with a lot of joy and optimism for what you're going to learn, and also the gift that we're going to be bringing to the beneficiaries of Esperance and our family members and loved ones and friends. So, asante for choosing to be here and choosing to be a part of Esperance and the trip. Chapter 23, verse 23. And they are really important to each one of us. It's like the energy that gives us life. And so these are needs. In a categorization of nonviolent communication, there are 54. And I invite you to just take a moment and as you look at them, reflect on the cultural practice that you shared. Which need was being fulfilled by this community, which is your community for that matter? And yeah, just take a moment and write it down. You can write 2 or 3, maximum 3. Don't go to a list of more than 3. And then I invite you to just take 1. So for now, just take a list of 3, write it down, and remember it's concerning the cultural practice that you shared. For me, for example, I shared about the naming. What need does it fulfill for me when I reflect on being named or called Odhiambo? What need could that be?
Poverty.
Sustenance.
Survival.
Survival. The need, the umbrella need is sustenance.
Okay, sustenance is...
What other need?
I think that the reason the father was doing that, in my thinking, was what do you call it? The inheritance. Passing on the baton. It's like you are preparing an heir.
An heir.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm looking at
the
a
expense
Of the culture.
Someone was going to get married somewhere.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Unknown.
I've heard of that excuse.
Yeah.
Like why would you educate
a girl
and
go out.
at the long run, she's
To
going
go
to get
to
married
benefit.
to someone.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Anybody.
and just go like that.
So the need, the family need in this case is hope and continuity of this family and this lineage. Why these are important is because we can narrow it down to something that from there we can explore different strategies. You get? Yeah. So,
Okay, as we looked at,
last but not least again, yeah.
we looked at FGM.
FGM.
We felt this is it's not a good practice because it was being imposed on the girls. So, but the need it was addressing is that it gave assurance to the parents that this girl will get a husband.
Assurance.
Yeah, because it was like a way to get married. If you've not gone through FGM, maybe
Chances
there's no
of marriage
proposal.
are less.
Somebody will not come to your to wherever.
Ask for your hand in marriage.
Yeah, hand in marriage, and also it was a sense of growth into another stage, adulthood. Yeah, you have grown.
It's a
Now that you're
transition,
circumcised, you have grown. You're now a big woman.
Yeah.
We can solicit a man for you
Yes.
to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those were the needs that were being addressed. Yes.
And the feelings?
However, they came up with so many different feelings, almost those negative feelings like frustration, confusion, embarrassment. There's a lot of trauma, anxiety. You know, these girls I felt were getting anxious.
Yes.
They were wondering all these things. Why? Why us? Yet other people outside there are not going through this.
Yes.
So there's the issue of what else? They were feeling even exhausted, tired, thinking about something you don't like something which is being imposed on you.
Yeah, bored. Yeah.
Sadness.
Sadness, sure.
Yeah, and all those other angry. They also used to get angry and
Very
disappointed and all those negative feelings.
Right. So, I wanna point out two things. One is that as we shared about feelings, there is no bad and good feelings. All feelings are pointers to something that we are longing for. Either there's a need that we want to be fulfilled, or there's a need that has been fulfilled. That's the only thing that we focus on. And also, there's no negative and positive. All feelings have a purpose and point us to something that we need to consider in our life.
It's like a sword. It's like a sword that was supposed to be used to circumcise them. So, yes, maybe I'm thinking for identity, like, because there are those other cultural practices that people are doing for identity.
Yeah. What he was sharing, he got the privilege, in this case, going through education normally, while the sister who's older was disempowered in the process. So, his privilege is something that sometimes unconsciously we experience it as human, are really included. They may show up or not in our daily lives. can you make it a culture? Connection, just like its name, it's an inquiry first. If the other person has an openness to talk about what you have in mind or to do whatever you have in mind in all this. Do I want support? Or in most cases, for most people, do I look for a justification to punish someone? Our parents were really good at this. Huh? Nimeenda kazi. Sikizeni hiyo radio kabisa, betri itajinunua. Atiyo ama unasikia, sasa natoka naenda shamba. Shindeni tu hapo, chezeni kabisa, oneni TV. Hizo vyombo zitaziona. Specifically the man is replaced by a younger brother or a younger cousin.
It was also true for the female, if it was the wife who died now, and the younger sister or cousin is.
Now, the authority may come to clamp down on you because they're trying to create an anarchy in a structured military like process. So I share with the girls, we are making like a camera lens, something clear, so that even somebody who's from the Zulu in South Africa can know what happens somewhere down there in western part of Kenya. You get? And its importance is that it's a universal, like a universal standard.
And I also observed that it was done for families that lost a spouse when they were still young. Infrequently is when it would have been applied to more mature families. That's what I observed.
So we want to break it down pole pole.
Yes.
And start with you said a spouse, a family who lost a spouse who was young.
Yes.
Now a clear observation, young is relative.
True.
What could be the age difference?
It was in the life. What I saw was families that
take it up because you see the importance that it can serve in your life. But then for me, when I was starting to learn this thing, I remember I told my, it was a German lady trainer, I told her that this thing cannot work in our slum situation. We are trying to resolve a conflict through a role play. We are doing a restorative circle role play.
the dowry was part of the marriage.
Oh, I'm at dowry.
You have no split.
No, actually, mine was wedding.
Hers was
Maybe
wedding.
somebody
is asking about
dowry. Yeah, it's different.
Okay. Now,
Apparently, there was
As we conclude this 2 days training, this was the beginning of a journey together. And so I'm just wondering, I would love to hear, how are you going to take what you've learned and use it moving forward? A female and a male.
this training going forward. For me, I believe this is now a way of life. Like I should really measure my wants, even my thoughts, so that I don't maybe whatever words that come out of my mouth should not be hurting anyone. And also in my thoughts, I should not be judgmental. I think, as maybe I shared earlier, I think this is training that should have been included in premarital counseling in churches, because we get married to people from different backgrounds. Yes, and maybe even at some point it should be part of our school curriculum, where people will be able to understand why do we have conflicts and how best to avoid conflict. Thank you.
To me, I think it will act on different ways, comparing that I'm one of the people who didn't agree with the culture. And as we went through a culture yesterday, the topic on culture, how it affects our needs, how it affects our feelings. Today we have seen how it affects our observations and all that. I think I will start valuing our culture, and also I use the component to apply even to my workplace in order to help me with the girls or the inmates whom I come across, and even the people around me. And it has also helped me to know and understand myself even better. So I think it was so useful to me. Thank you.
Esperance, how will this be helpful for you? Maybe if someone can summarize.
Mary will be better, she has been sitting.
Okay, first of all, we want to appreciate this training because it has actually given us a lot of insights because we are focused on a group that is vulnerable. Like now when we are supporting the women and the children in prison, those are the women who are really vulnerable from the beginning. So the fact that we have been able to be given an opportunity to go through a training whereby we appreciate the fact that people come from different cultural backgrounds and people have their own values, yeah, and there's so much that is into interplay anytime any activity is taking place. And to me, like every behavior is motivated because to me everything has a purpose.
Yes.
So any action that happens should be focused to achieve a certain purpose. But if you don't have a good strategy to enable this person to achieve that purpose, then you will not be able to achieve anything. So as Esperance, a foundation, it is a moment of realization whereby we are now going to look at ourselves and say, how can we make ourselves better in really actualizing our vision and mission of the organization? Because the vision is like we are looking at reducing the rate of recidivism to the women. But how can we reduce this if we are not able to empower these women comprehensively in the sense that we are working with their mind, we are working with their feelings, we are working with everything that makes them who they are. Yeah? Just understanding the bit of them is not enough to make them actually get accepted back in the community.
Yeah.
So we shall be able to empower them also so that when they go out, they are able to appreciate so many things about themselves every time and say, what is my contribution? Before I even judge whoever made me to come to prison, what did I do? Maybe I failed. So before I really condemn whoever made me come, I should understand myself. And from there, continue understanding myself so that I don't put myself into trouble. You see? And to me, that is all about this, what I have learned. Because when you put non-violent communication into practice, it really makes it very easy to live a happy life. Because it's like you appreciate people, and beginning from yourself, and then you make people also appreciate you. Because you are available, you are encouraging them, you are motivating them, you are making them make their own choices. Yeah, you're not forcing anybody. Yeah, the road is here, you either pass here, but before you pass there, can you think about it? Can you evaluate?
Thank our partner, Heart to Heart. They helped us put the efforts together. Usually it's not easy for an organization to be in the USA, work with another organization in Kenya, in Africa, and agree and make things, as fast as it was. I know it has been God who has given us that strength, but also they have done a lot for us. For me, it's a good beginning. I know that we'll have more to do together. So let me especially thank you, the trainer. Sam, you have spent all of this time training us. I know you can't, it's not easy to plan a training within 2 months and deliver the way you have delivered. And all of us, now we understand that we can deliver and give to others what you have given us. We promise you that we are not going to disappoint you. We'll use this for the good of the community. Let me thank my colleagues from Esperance Foundation and our consultant and the Kamai Prison for really joining us and working together for the women and children in prison and outside prison.